Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Falcons Daily. I am CG, your host, Craig Green. And as you can see, I have my lovely co host with me again. Harper is with us again for this Thursday edition of Falcons Daily. Harper, how you doing?
Great.
All right. This is, we're still getting ready for game week here. And before we get started with game week, want to remind all of you that Fan Arch are the lovely folks at Fan Arch are the ones who power Falcons Daily, and they'll help provide that from me to you every single day. So up here in the top left corner is their logo up there. Fan Arch Co. is where you can find them on social media. FANARCHCO. And me, I'm at Craig G Sports. You can find me at CRAIG, the letter G, and the word sports. That's where you can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Snapchat, Cash App, if you want to, send your boy some holiday wishes. Anyway, so we're looking at the trade deadline that's coming up on November the 4th. And, one glaring weakness we talk about for the Falcons, we talked about it the other day, was linebacker. And took a little bit of a dive into some linebackers today to see who may or may not be on the trading block. And one of those players that I saw, well, actually two of them really. First one you see here in the headline, Logan Wilson of the Cincinnati Bengals. It's very possible that he could be looking for a new home. Logan Wilson is a player who was drafted by the Bengals in the third round of the 2020 NFL Draft. He came from the Wyoming Cowboys out there, University of Wyoming. And Logan Wilson has been a player who's largely performed well. He's running on a streak of 4 straight years of 100 tackles plus. Has also got 11 career interceptions in his bag. Also has forced 6 fumbles in his career. And, a solid player. Has played inside linebacker, played outside linebacker. Right now he's listed as an outside linebacker in the current scheme. But I believe under Lou Anaromo, he played on the inside as well. Looks like more of a chess piece that you can move around. And another important thing to remember, he was Jesse Bates' teammate with the Bengals as well. So, and then when you look at his contract right now, Logan Wilson, he is signed with the Bengals through 2027. So if the Falcons did trade for him, you'd have him for the remainder of this year, next year, and the year after that. So it's something you'd have to think about when it comes to, whether or not we're going to keep Caden Ellis, because remember, his contract is running out. And we want to solidify that linebacker position, especially after what we saw the last couple weeks against the 49ers with Christian McCaffrey and against the Miami Dolphins with Devon Achane. They both had a field day just running the ball right up the middle. Another guy that I was looking at as well, Quincy Williams of the New York Jets. And I think he could be a more likely candidate only because of the fact that Williams' contract ends this season. He will be a free agent in 2026. It's a voided year. He had a contract running through 2029. All those years have been voided. And he will hit free agency at the end of 2025. So he'd be more like a rental for the Falcons, but someone who could step in right away and most likely help out Jeff Ulbricht's defense. Remember, he was with Jeff Ulbricht with the Jets, under his under his scheme. So, not too far-fetched to look at a guy like Quincy Williams also, who is not making, astronomically large amounts of money either. So, I would say for the long term, Logan Wilson. For the short term, plug and play right now, maybe Quincy Williams would be the guy I would look at. Also, going past that, we're looking at practices that happened on Wednesday. Falcons did kind of a walkthrough inside. They weren't practicing outside because of the bad weather. And Raheem Morris, the head coach of the Falcons, explained that because of the fact that the weather is going to be good in New England for the game against the Patriots, didn't feel the need to have the guys outside in the elements practicing. So what we saw was a bunch of our guys coming back. Jesse Bates, remember he left the game in the fourth quarter against the Dolphins with an ankle injury, or he's actually classified as a knee. So he was out there today in the walkthrough. Drake London with his hip ailment out there as well. Michael Penix, our quarterback, with a bone bruise in his knee. Limited practice during the walkthrough. Jalen Walker was out there as well as Billy Bowman. So Good signs for the Falcons. And Storm Norton, again, still in his window from returning from injured reserve. Another guy who was able to log a full practice today. The only Falcon on the report with a full practice was Big Storm Norton. We did miss Casey Washington. We did miss Leonard Floyd, Zach Harrison. None of those guys were able to get on the practice field today. Hopefully, some of that's more just maintenance versus concern with their injuries. But pretty much Raheem said anybody who's on the injury report right now, limited DNP or full, are all pretty much day to day. On the other side for the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson, one of their big-time running backs, is on the report there. He has a toe injury and did not practice. So that's something to kind of keep your eyes on as well. Garrett Bradbury, their center as well, the former center out of NC State, Garrett Bradbury, he had a limited practice with a toe ailment. So again, things to kind of watch for, as well as Stephon Diggs with a limited practice with an ankle. I think that would be more of a precautionary thing for Bradbury and for Diggs. So we will see as the week goes on. But it's good signs that the Falcons are starting to get a little bit more of their firepower back. And speaking of getting firepower back, the Falcons' offense really needs to get it going. Harper, we've had some real big struggles scoring the football. The last two games, the Falcons have scored 10 points against the 49ers and 10 points against the Dolphins. And guess what happened? Did they win either one of those games or did they lose? They lost both games, right? Mm-hmm. So what do the Falcons need to do if they want to beat the Patriots?
They need to lock in and focus.
I agree. And they've got to score some points on offense. That would help the Falcons out tremendously. Zach Robinson getting a lot of the heat, Raheem Morris getting a lot of the heat because the offense isn't getting the ball going. Remember, Kirk Cousins pretty largely ineffective. Bijan Robinson had a fumble against the Dolphins. But on Wednesday, Michael Penix was talking to the media, and they asked him about trying to get the offense going again. And what Penix had to say to the media when asked about what they could do was, he said, our defense has been playing lights out. I feel like they've been playing great, and we've got to be able to play complementary football and be able to complement what they've been doing on that side of the ball, and we haven't been. So pretty honest assessment from QB1 Michael Penix talking about fixing the Falcons offense. And he didn't go specifically into scheme-related things. Nobody's ever going to do that and say, well, we need to pass the ball to this guy more. We need to call double sledge, XL, biscuit on three. They're not going to give you all that information, but he's just giving you a quick overview and a blanket assessment of what the Falcons need to do to fix their offense. And, I think it starts with just little things. Again, pre-snap, getting out of the huddle in time to make sure that you can communicate, because now remember, you're going to be on the road this week. And it's not exactly a friendly environment being out there. Penix has struggled on the road sometimes getting the signal calls in and things like that. We saw against Carolina, he had some issues there. So, having Zach Robinson on the sideline should help some, but at the same time, he's going to have, Penix is going to have to get out of that huddle pretty quickly. He's going to have to assess what they're doing, what the Patriots are trying to do defensively pretty quickly. It's also up to their offensive line to win their matchups, win to a T, get off the blocks, give your wide receivers a chance, give your running backs a chance to be able to get downfield and make plays. Another kicker is also do not jump off sides. I mean, those are killer penalties. Delay of game, false start, illegal motions, things like that have really, not much to do with the scheme or the coach or anything. A lot of times, again, the coach and the quarterback and the offensive coordinator take a lot of the heat for what's going on. But again, just like Raheem Morris said, the players have to execute. They'll need to execute the game plan. They'll need to win their matchup, and do their part to help the Falcons win this game. And if they can do that, then we'll like what we see against the Patriots. Again, the Patriots right now have been really shutting down the run against their opponents. I believe the statistics said that no one's gone over 50 yards against the Patriots, in terms of rushing the football. And again, running the ball is the Falcons' bread and butter. That's what they want to do the most. And, if they can't run the football and the game plan is all on Penix to beat the Patriots, I mean, I think it could be done. Penix does have the arm and the capability of it, but we don't want to get into a shootout with these guys. We want to impose our will, keep the ball, kill the clock, and keep guys like Drake May on the sideline, who's having a really good season. So, the number one way we can play defense against them is keeping our offense on the field early and often. All right, we are going to go ahead and get out of here and go ahead and look at some food. I think we're both getting a little bit hungry. But while we're doing that, I want you guys to please like, subscribe, rise up and sound off in the comments and let us know what you think of Falcons Daily. Let us know what you think about today's topics. Would Logan Wilson look good in the Falcons uniform? You're darn right he would. All right, Harper, break it down for everybody. Let's go get some grub.
Sayonara and buenas noches. Bye, Falcon family.